is the number.
Coming to you live. Just kidding. Listen, brother. What? Hulkamania. All right, everybody, welcome back to another video with Christian and Pride Roofing and Construction. This is actually number 35 from me, and we're going to be spinning off into a new area of business, which is management, right? This is probably applicable to a lot of people out there because you've all served in a role where you oversaw a multitude of people, maybe many, maybe few. It's very applicable to just like, I don't know, life, right? As a family head, if you're a father out there, you have to manage your family. And if you really ask who's running the show in the background, it's probably the wife. Love you, Hannah. She's the real manager. She's the real MVP. But anyways, yeah, I don't make my own decisions. But I'm just kidding. Oh, I hope you got some of this stuff. I don't know. Anyways, let's get back on topic. So, all right, everybody, welcome back to another video with Christian. This is actually number 35, and today we're going to spin this into a new category. So we're going to be talking about management topics. I know this can get kind of boring for those of you that don't like dry information, so I'll try to make it as fun as I possibly can. So we're going to start this with a quote. Every leader casts a shadow, so be aware that everybody will do what you do. So let's start this one off with a quote. This is by David Novak. Every leader casts a shadow, so be aware of the fact that they will do what you do. Okay? So what does that mean? Why is this important? And why are we talking about management tips and training? So one of the most important things that you have to do as one of your jobs as a manager of people is to train them to do the job effectively. You have to teach a concept to them so well that you then can let them run on their own and do at the same capacity whatever it is, whether it's a task, a protocol, a piece of the organization, do it as well as you do, and then you have to find a way for them to report back the metrics so that you can actually keep overwatch on that, right? If we boil down management to a couple of topics, this is one of the most prevalent one, which is how to train your people. And I brought that quote to the table at first because it's very important. People say practice makes perfect, and I think that's a bullshit statement, right? Perfect practice makes perfect. And if you want to have people do something the way that you want it to be done, you have to give them the right amount of guidance in the right form and fashion. What I've noticed as a business owner and through the growth of the organization is that it's very uncomfortable to onboard new people. And after it's uncomfortable, actually I'm gonna explain why it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable because you're bringing people in that are not you. They don't live inside of your head. They are, they're just people that have certain qualities that you think could actually fit. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. You're gonna find that out after you've onboarded them. It's very uncomfortable at first. And it's even more and more uncomfortable down the road because you realize that if you want to grow and expand, you have to let your hands off of certain wheels, right? You have to give control to these people. In order to do that and to be effective with, actually growing an organization, you have to be perfect at training your people to do the job the way you want them to do the job. Right? So these tips that we have in management that I'm giving to you today are they're very fundamental. I'm sure you've all have done this. You may not have coined each one of the phrases or the steps or anything like that, but they're essential in order to make sure that your vision that you're casting as the owner or the vision that you're running with as the manager working for an owner is done with exacting execution, okay? So, training. In any organization, there should always be a foundational starting point, right, of introduction to the topic. In the introduction to the topic, you're going to talk about what you're doing and why you're doing it. Your people need to buy into this whatever it is, even if it's a protocol. They need to buy in, and the only way they're going to do that is with understanding of why this piece is important to the mechanism that they work inside of. So you need to give that why factor, right? Here at Pride Roofing and Construction, what we do is we onboard all of our people on day one, and then from day 2 through day 7, they are actually in the classroom. They're learning about the organization, the culture. They're learning about the different things that they have to understand and become an expert in. They learn about insurance. They learn about insurance paperwork. They learn about contract writing. They learn about personality theories in regards to how that can be utilized in the sales world, so on and so forth. It's all digestible information that's given over the course of time, but it's all introduction stuff, right? It's superficial topic. It's like you're going to class, you're reading the book, but yet you don't have any work experience. This is an integral step to every process. I'm just saying this is how we do this with our sales staff here. You need to introduce them to the what you're doing and the why that you're doing it, okay? In the second phase, what we do is we have a shadow phase. Each one of these people follows their superior and they observe what this person is doing. They watch it in action, right? So that shadow that I was talking about at the beginning of the video, they are going to do what this person does, right? Whether that's you or whether that's somebody that you trust to do it. If you're, sitting in like a more senior role or executive role, either way, you have to make sure that that person is doing this thing and creating this shadow in the way that you want them to do, because they're going to follow that. So there's an observation step. They watch it in motion. They see how those words are applied into this action. And then they're given additional guidance and support to the conversation you had in step 1 in the introduction. Then step 3, okay, is flipped roles observation, okay? And what that means is no longer is the superior the one that's communicating or that's completing the action or typing in the manuscript or the prompt or the whatever, or the work order or whatever that it is, right? They're going to let the other person get their hands a little bit dirty. Okay, but all the while they are there for support. So in this phase, it's observation and support. It's rearing them back in, it's correcting, it's making sure that they're able to achieve the goal, but they're never going to fail on it because they have the support of the seniors, of the superior. This phase needs to last the longest of all of the phases. Here, with your standard account representative or account manager, which is what we call our salespeople, this phase can take anywhere from a month to 3 months, because there needs to be guidance, there needs to be support, there needs to be a pride of lions behind them that are actually making sure that if they make a mistake, it's not detrimental to their growth in the organization or their success with that client, or and so on and so forth. Then the last phase is cutting them free, right? Letting them loose, letting them have fun. Now this is really where the manager's position comes into play with their team. There has to be ways that everything that they're doing is reported back to you. If it's not reported back to you automatically, you need to assign these systems. You need to create these systems. You have to buy that CRM like I was talking about in videos farther back. You need to have this information brought to these people, summarized, so that you can be exacting with where you're going to focus your time managing your entire team and understanding the weaknesses and strengths of each individual person, so that you know how to tailor fit your management to your team. So long story short, if you want to be successful in your ability to grow an organization, you need to learn how to train your people. In order to do that, you got to give them time and attention, and you have to understand that each one of your people is an investment, okay? Every one of them is an investment. Excuse me. They cost a lot of money in this phase. So make sure, we're going to talk about this in a future video, but make sure you're recruiting the right people with the right standards, with the right ethics, and they are the right person for the job. And then rest in your laurels. Make sure you trust yourself as you go through this phase. And if you make it to the end, you've given them the best that you can in this training, and they're not learning the job, maybe they're not the right person for the job, and you need to understand that, and you need to have a little bit of intestinal fortitude to overcome that termination or that separation or that movement and repositioning within the organization. But let's remember these strategies. Introduce the topic, let them watch you do it perfectly, watch them do it while giving them all of the guidance and support that they could possibly need, and make sure they don't have any errors. Cut them loose and make sure that there's metrics that you can use to analyze to always retrain when something slips. This is Christian, Pride Roofing and Construction, Management Topics. Please like and subscribe and engage in the content. Let's become better managers. Let's become better people. Let's become better managers. Let's become better people. Have a nice day. Catch you on the flip side.
We're just chatting and doing
Am I still on video? Because that was really unathletic.
I am recording that. That's also very unathletic.
I was probably shaking while I was doing it.
If you were shaking though, I could do like a wet dog effect. Right back there.